challenge. Thank you for joining. My name is Mikael Daou. I work at Secretariat International of Water. I'm the project officer of the challenge 1 Million Youth Action Challenge. I'm here today with Samira. Samira also works at IMYAC, and she also here today to answer your question that you might have in the chat. We will have time for questions at the end of the webinar, but feel free to type your question in the chat box during the presentation, and we will do our best to answer your question. So first, we want to say thank you to our strategic partners. So thank you to the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, the Agence de l'eau Artois Picardie, SDC Network Réseau. So first, we will do a quick introduction of the initiative 1 Million Youth Action Challenge. If you don't know what it is, we're going to explain the challenge. Afterward, we'll present the Youth for Water and Climate platform, which the IMYAC call for proposal take place on. And most importantly, after that, I'll present the call for proposal in details. We're going to see the objective, the selection criteria, and other things important for the call for proposal. And I'm going to show the website as well. And after that, if you have questions, we will have a time for that as well. So I will present you the 1 Million Youth Action Challenge. At first, it was initiated by the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation in 2021, and it's now coordinated by the International Secretariat for Water. The aim of the challenge is to mobilize youth between 10 to 30 years old to implement concrete action for a more sustainable future. The challenge focuses on 4 SDGs. So we have SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, SDG 13, climate action, and SDG 15, life on land biodiversity. The main objective to the challenge is to reach 1 million youth action. How the challenge works, so it's really easy. You just have to create your profile on the IMYAC website, and after that you choose an action and commit to act. The action are organized in function of the SDG they are related to. The initiative IMYAC also relies on our IMYAC ambassador. We need them to promote the challenge and to mobilize youth to do action for the environment, for the SDGs. They will also sometimes we need them to represent IMYAC at some events. We will need them for translation and other things like that. So the IMYAC ambassador are really important for us. So that's why we created this call for proposal that is especially for our ambassador. But if you are not a IMYAC ambassador, it's not a problem because you can apply to become one before July 16 to be eligible for the call. So, or you can become a IMYAC ambassador. So it's easy. You have to complete the Google form to become a IMYAC ambassador. If you are selected, you will receive an invitation to an introduction session. And after that, if you confirm that you still want to be a IMYAC ambassador, you will become an official IMYAC ambassador. And we just ask for our ambassador to remain active for at least 2 years by promoting the challenge and doing some action for the challenge. And Youth and Water for Climate platform. So the call for proposal is on this platform. The main objective of Youth and Water is to help turn youth ideas into reality by providing young people with financial and technical support by connecting their initiative with partners and mentors. It's not the first call for proposal on this platform. They already had 5 previous calls for project, and they are more than 40 projects funded on the platform. You can see some picture of projects that were funded on the platform. I invite you to go see on the YWC website. There's information about the previous project, and that's really interesting. So with this call, the One Youth Action Challenge calls for proposal, we are really happy to bring together 2 different tools, so the YWC platform and IMYAC, to support youth initiatives. So now is the time to present in details the call for proposal 1 Million Youth Action Challenge. This call is really important to us because we believe that it's crucial to give access to funding for young people to support their efforts by increasing access to technical support and guidance. The main objective of this call for project is to support the implementation of youth-led initiatives related to the 4 SDGs that are targeted by IMYAC. The 4 themes that the call is on is the 4 SDGs, like that's in line with the IMYAC SDGs as well. So we have clean water and sanitation, improve water quality, promote safe drinking water. We also have SDG 12, so project that promote resources and energy efficiency, circular economy. SDG 13, a project that reduce gas emission and improve adaptation to climate action, and SDG 15, so project that protect biodiversity and prevent ecosystem degradation. For the eligibility criteria, so for the applicant to be eligible, the project leader need to be a IMYAC ambassador or need to have applied to be a IMYAC ambassador. So if you are not a IMYAC ambassador and you submit your project, it's okay if you are not yet a IMYAC ambassador, but you have applied or you will apply before July 16 to become a IMYAC ambassador. Also, the applicant need to be between 18 to 35 years old, and the project include youth between 10 to 30 years old across all aspects of the project. The project will be prioritized if the project comes from low and middle income countries, led or benefiting disadvantaged people, developed by or for indigenous communities, and or led by young women. For the selection criteria, so the applicant IMYAC ambassador history. So if you were already an ambassador before June 2023 or active ambassador, there are extra points for that. The relevance of the project. So is the project relevant for the community? Is the proposal contain explanation of the situation that needs to be changed? Youth inclusion and leadership. If the project includes youth across all the steps of the project, impact of the project, innovation, feasibility, is it financially feasible? The project has an implementation plan, and sustainability. If the project is sustainable, is it possible to replicate the project? So on the call for proposal page on the YWC website, there's more details on it, so I invite you to go and take a look. So if your project is selected, you will receive technical support. The financial support can go up to $5,000 Canadian. Also, you can be featured on the YWC and IMYAC platform to gain more visibility. how you can submit your project. Yes, you have to become a IMYAC ambassador. You visit the Youth, Water and Climate to read the call for proposal. After that, you prepare a short video and you upload it on YouTube. To be noted that the quality of the video is not important, but make sure that we can clearly hear your voice. Be clear and concise and dynamic. You need to convince us that we should choose your project. And the final step is to submit your project by and before July 16th. Now there's the template for the project submission, but I will just show you quickly the website so you can see how to get to the project submission. Laura, can we see my screen?
I can see your screen, but not the form. So only the Youth for Water and Climate.
Okay, so you see the website?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I will just quickly show you the website so that you can find things easily. So we have the call for proposal right here. Just here you have all of the information that I say in this presentation. You can download the information, the related documents of the call in English, French, Spanish, or German. And if you want to submit your project, you can go and submit your project. And here you will have all of the question to submit your project. We only accept projects that are submitted on this form. And to be noted that the submission form is in English, but if you wish, you can fill the form in the other language that are accepted for the call for proposal, so English, French, Spanish, or German. But if your project is selected, the communication will be in English. Also, on the side of the project submission, you have some guidelines, tips to how to submit your project, that are good qualities, do's and don't when you submit your project. So that's useful, and I invite you to read it before submitting your project. Okay, so now we're back on our presentation. So for the project template, we're going to go a bit about what to do when you submit your project. So we encourage you to complete all the section of your profile and project brief. Select an interesting and descriptive project title. Make sure the project title is catchy. Include an original picture of your project or project area. Project abstract, make sure to describe how you will implement and what and for who. You can give us a brief overview of the context, activities which will be implemented, and whom will benefit from this project. The goals and objective, what is the specific and existing issue you want to solve, address root cause of the issue faced by the community, ask the 5 why to get to the core problem, try to include data and evidence. Why do you want to do this project? Like, is there previous data? Does your idea build up existing solution or propose a new model? Meaningful goals and objectives. Why is this a solution for disadvantaged group, especially women and youth? So try to be clear on this point. Also, for the expected result, try to be on the method SMART, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. The budget and timeline for implementation is realistic. You thought of a method of tracking results for monitoring and evaluation. For the video presentation, so we want to see the relevance, youth inclusion and leadership, impact, innovation, feasibility, and sustainability. And the support needed, so it's important to know that it's in Canadian dollar. And the contributor, you show your credential, describe your project partner, demonstrate your past project management experience, and specify your age, because their point if you have previous project management. Also, here's what I was showing on the website before. So it's the project submission, do's and don'ts, financial guidelines, how to create your project budget, project quality assurance framework, and criteria. So I repeat it, but it's really important that you go take a look on this before submitting your project. And now for the timeline. So as you know, the call for proposal is open until July 16. The pre-selected project will have, if your project is pre-selected, you will have to send more documents such as implementation plan, project planification, budget in the week of July 31. After that, the project will be evaluated by a jury. And we will do the announcement of the winner on the week of August 21. After that, the winners will have to sign an agreement, and that will be the start of the project. You will do, if your project is selected, a financial and operation report at the midterm and final. And the project has to be completed by February 2024. So now, if you have a question about the call for proposal, is the time to ask the question. But primarily, put your question in the chat box. If we want you to elaborate more, we will invite you to speak up about your question, but at first, put it in the chat box. And please don't pitch your project as well. So thank you, everyone. And if you have a question, it's the time to ask.
So maybe, Michael, I can already voice some questions that have been asked in the chat so that everybody also hears the answer. So one question regarding the becoming a IMYAC ambassador is from Abraham, and he asks whether how long is it going to take for confirmation when I apply to be an ambassador or a partner? So when can they estimate with an answer, or how does this process work?
When you submit, you complete the form to become an ambassador, it will take maybe maximum 1 week for you to receive an answer to an invitation for the onboarding call. So yeah, like 1 week, I would say.
Okay, thank you. And now we have different questions also regarding to become a IMYAC ambassador. What is the age of becoming a IMYAC ambassador?
For now, for becoming a IMYAC ambassador, from now we accept ambassador from 18 to 35 years old for the call for proposal. But you can also become a IMYAC ambassador if you're under 18, like if you're 16 and more, but you can't like submit your project to the call for proposal because we only accept project for people over 18 years old.
Okay, thank you. Is there a minimum number of members needed for the group of youth involved? That's a question from Deme.
there's not a minimum number, but we encourage that your project involve like many youth, and that it's a group project. So like I would say many youth, but there's not a minimum number.
And the youth involved, Helen asks, should the project members be 18 years of age?
So the project members?
Yeah, so I guess she meant the project members managing the project.
Yeah, the project members managing the project has to be 18 and more, but your project can also include people younger than 18 years old.
Okay. There are also several questions about how many projects are going to be selected in total.
We don't have the clear number yet, but I would say like 5 or 6.
Okay. Can a group submit more than one project at once?
If it's a different person, yes, that submit the project.
Okay. Does a person need to be based in their home country, or is it also possible to submit the project happening in another country?
It's possible to submit a project happening in other countries, but I think it's good if you have a team there to really be close to the project and follow the step of the project.
Okay. A question from Ms. Stefania. Do the projects have any advantage if they started before, or new and old projects will be evaluated equally?
They will be evaluated equally because it's open for ongoing and new projects, so it will be the same for us.
Okay. Another question from Brian on the selection criteria. You said that gender and regional balance would be highly considered. How large is a region in this consideration? And yes, the other question we already answered.
Yeah, the region is, I will not say it's large, but it's important, like project will be prioritized that face a certain problem or disadvantaged people or in country from low and middle income countries.
Okay, so region on a world basis, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have many questions here. I will see what I can pick up. So here's a very specific question, I guess, about the forum that is on the Youth for Water and Climate platform.
Yeah.
Please, concerning the project submission, can you please point out the main difference of expected response between implementation framework and activity timeline of the project? So what is it, what they should put in the activity timeline and in the implementation framework?
On the form when you submit your project?
I guess so.
I would say in the activities timeline, like the activities that you will do for your project and the timeline that you expect for your project.
Yeah, maybe the implementation framework, if I can jump in, Rodrigue, is probably more on a conceptual basis, and the activity timeline really, in this month, we plan to do that. Then we have our first meeting. We want to have this task done by XYZ October or November or whatever. So list your activities in a like calendar format, or yeah, just the timeline and the implementation framework, rather why you list it in that way and what is your concept behind it. I hope that helps. Then we also have a question by Muhasino. Do you have a specific platform for the selected ambassadors?
For the selected ambassador, they are featured on our IMYAC website, so you can see all the ambassador, the IMYAC ambassador on the website. We also have like a community website, Azu, where all the ambassador have access and can chat on this and have all the information of other ambassador. We also have a WhatsApp group where ambassador can chat or share any event or relevant information.
Okay. Another question regarding becoming a IMYAC ambassador. What happens if your project does not get elected and you remain as an ambassador? Do you have specific engagements for ambassadors beside the project submission?
If you apply to become an ambassador, you know that we expect new ambassador to remain active for at least 2 years. So when you apply to become an ambassador, keep in mind that even if your project is not selected, we expect you to remain an active ambassador and to like do group action, to promote the challenge as best as you can in your community, to speak about IMYAC in an event and things like that.
Okay, thank you. There are some questions also about the project itself, whether they are eligible. So one is about from Alejandra. She says, can I use technology for the project? My project uses artificial intelligence and an app.
Yeah, I would say she can use technology for her project.
Okay.
I don't see any problem in that.
Another question about will the challenge support menstrual cup distribution to women and girls?
Yeah, that would be a really cool project to submit, I think.
Yeah, maybe just to jump in here, we have the 4 SDGs from IMYAC. So just make sure that you frame your project in a way how you can show how it actually supports the implementation of one of these 4 SDGs. But I think that's totally possible also for menstrual cup distribution, for example. Jeffrey.
And when you submit your project on the form on the YWC platform, just make sure to like state that say that your project will affect one of this SDG, to like write this SDGs on the platform.
There is another question from Farhana. Is there any quota that how many projects are awarded per country?
No, we don't have any quota.
Helen asks, will the challenge include awareness programs in community related to climate change?
Yes, it could be. Again, if your action is in link with one of the SDGs that are targeted by IMYAC.
Okay, I think we have another question, a concrete one on the form of the actual application from Rodrigue again, asking the section concerning photos, cover image, gallery image, avatar. Please tell what images are you expecting?
So if I'm right, this part is optional for the picture, but it's true that, like I said in the do's, it's best if you can upload a picture of your project. So yeah, like I would say a picture of your project in the context, in the situation, in the community.
Okay. I think there were also some questions about this, about the application video. So one question was from Helen, should we prepare the application video during the proposal phase, or I guess after is the question? And also a question about the video, whether they can record the audio separately to have a good audio recording, or how they should submit that.
It depends if we can hear your voice clearly. I would not say that you have to record it separately. Like the quality of the video is not really important. So yeah, I will go the more simple, the more easier that you can. We just want to know what is your project and information about it. But yes, and the other question about if the project, the video has to be submitted during the call.
Yes, should they prepare it now?
Yeah, you should prepare it now because for submitting your project, you need to upload to send the link of the video. So you should prepare it now.
Okay. There's another question from God's Will asking, what's the project timeline?
On the farm.
Yes, or probably when does the project need to be implemented?
The project need to be implemented before, need to be finished before February 2024. The start of the project can be after the project is selected, but as we also take ongoing project, it's okay for project like it's already started.
Samina asked, when can this recording be accessed? I hope you mean the Zoom recording that we're doing today. Yes, I guess so.
Okay, it will be accessed by tomorrow. We will publish it on our social media. The Secretariat International of Water social media will republish this webinar.
Francis asks, for the video, is there an allocated time frame? What is the maximum time for a video?
Yeah, if I'm right, it's 3 minutes. It's a 3 or 4 minutes video, so it's a really short video.
Okay. Another question on this project timeline. What if a project goes on after February 24th, more like a sustainable entrepreneurship?
Yeah, the project has to be completed by February 2024. So all of the steps of the project need to be finished by these dates.
So maybe Alejandra, you can also see whether you have one part of your sustainable entrepreneurship where you need where you want to apply for that is actually able to be finished by February 24th. Rodrigue asked, do individuals have an equal chance of selection as team?
Yes, if your project also include other youth in the project across all of the steps of the project. So you can apply as an individual, but make sure that you will include other youth.
Okay. One more question on the IMYAC ambassadors. For the selected ambassadors, are they going to have access to the ambassadors platforms after the introductory session?
Yes, after the introductory session, you will have access to the ambassador platform, but you will just have to accept that after the presentation of the IMYAC role as an ambassador, that you still want to be a IMYAC ambassador, and after that, you will receive the WhatsApp group and other link so that you are officially a IMYAC ambassador.
Okay, thank you. Alejandra asked, what topics are covered in technical support? How does it work, the technical support?
Technical support, we're talking more about like mentor or like a formation for the project.
Okay. Helen asks, what happens if we don't get selected as an ambassador, but will submit the project proposal?
If you are not selected as an ambassador, your project will not be eligible, but that's why I really invite you when you submit your application to become a IMYAC ambassador to really complete all of the question and to say why do you want to be a IMYAC ambassador. So yeah, that's important to complete all of the question, and if you do that, I'm pretty sure that you will be selected.
There is also a question from God's Will. Is there a specific area we focus on during the project? And I'm not sure if it means geographic area or thematic area, but maybe you can respond to both.
Thematic area, like we said, as long as your project target one of the four SDGs, so SDG 6, 12, 13, and 15, that would be good. And for the geographic area, it shows that we will prioritize projects that is good for the disadvantaged or that go on middle low income countries.
Okay, I think, yes, another question. So if you don't receive an email, you are not selected as an ambassador.
Yes, if you don't receive an email, you're not selected.
But please be aware that this 1 week is, around 1 week, maybe also 2. So don't be afraid if you haven't gotten an email yet. We have got many applications now with this call for proposal. So yes, I think if you filled out the form with all the questions and you wrote something that makes sense and we can see what you're doing, there is a good chance that you are selected.
Totally.
Ayula asks, when is the application deadline?
It's July 16th.
Any other questions? So, some questions on becoming a IMYAC ambassador. Derek says, I joined the Facebook IMYAC group and not the WhatsApp group. Does this make me an ambassador or not?
It depends. If you did the introduction session and you receive an email that confirm you that you are a IMYAC ambassador, you are, but only if you receive this email.
Okay. Arslan asks, how can we apply for an ambassador now?
You can apply to become an ambassador by complete the form that Samara has probably
Yes,
sent.
I will send it. Themba asks, when shall you call for the next project proposal?
After the IMYAC call for proposal?
Yes.
For that, I don't have the information for the next call for proposal, so I really invite you to submit your project if you can to this call for proposal.
Then God's Will asks, are African countries expected to apply?
They are not expected to apply, but we encourage you to apply if you have a project idea, a project in your community. We really welcome all of this kind of project.
Moacino asks, can we hashtag IMYAC on our social media platforms?
Yes, of course.
Please do so.
Yeah.
Ike Chugwu asks, are the entire members of the project expected to register to be a IMYAC ambassador?
No, just the project leader has to apply to become a IMYAC ambassador.
Okay. I will send you also directly again the link to submit your project proposals. Rodrigo asks if your partners have experience in implementing a similar project, is that okay?
I think it's good. I will specify it when I submit my project that the partners as some kind of experience, but we really encourage if the project leader has previous management experience. That would be a really that would be a plus for your project.
Jeffrey asks, can an ambassador implement a project through an existing organization?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Can an ambassador implement a project through an existing organization?
Yes, for the call for proposal or just a project.
Yes.
For yes, if you want to submit this project can be an ongoing project as well as a new project. So I would say yes, but as long as you are the leader, the leader of the project.
And if the project involves youth?
Yeah, sure.
Brian asks, could you come up once more on the total target number of projects?
The number of projects that we will select at the
Yes.
end? Okay, I would say we don't have the exact number right now, but I would say 5 or 6 projects at the end.
Rodrigo asks, should the budget be prepared in local currency or in Canadian dollars?
In Canadian dollar, please. There's a website where you can do the I don't know, like to convert
The currency conversion.
Yeah, you can do currency conversion on this website, and really it's better if you can do in Canadian dollar.
Futi asks, can an ambassador implement the project through a state-owned entity, but the ambassador is the project manager?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Can an ambassador implement the project through a state-owned entity, but the ambassador is the project manager?
Yeah, I would say yes too, because if the project manager is an ambassador, and as long as it targets youth, I would not see any problem in that.
Francis asks, I read somewhere on the page that we can submit more than one project. Is that right?
I will say that, yeah, maybe you can submit more than one project, but it's better if you can concentrate on one project.
Arslan asks, I worked in sustainable energy production from industrial waste. Does this relate to the category of these projects or not?
Yes, because we target also SDG 12. So I think there's a link with the SDG 12, so responsible consumption and production. But you have to like clearly state the link between your project and SDG 12, or maybe another SDG that we target as IMYAC and for the call for proposal.
Yeah, just a suggestion, if you're not sure whether your project idea is related to one of the SDGs, maybe you go on the UN website and see what the SDGs are actually about, and then you might be able to find the link with your project idea. Farhana asks, would you please repeat the SDG goals numbers?
The SDG goals number?
Yeah, so which SDGs are targeted by IMYAC?
Yes, so we have SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, SDG 13, climate action, and SDG 15, life on land biodiversity.
I will send you all the link to IMYAC, where you can also find which SDGs are targeted and what we mean by that.
Mhm. We still have time for a few more questions. If you have questions, just put it in the chat.
I think no questions occur. Maybe we can stop screen sharing and stop the recording, and we might stay in here if you want to voice something. But other than that, I think we are closing the meeting then. So I will stop the recording.